whiteboard at Allen Park looked different today. The kind of different that tells me our staff is sketching a new stress point for defenses between the numbers. Welcome to Lions News Fan Report, your daily home for fast updates and grown-up football context on our beloved Detroit Lions. Here's what I'm delivering in this breakdown. The real offensive problem we're trying to solve down the stretch. Why a specific move tight end prototype turns our 12 personnel into a math problem for safety. How the league has quietly priced that role ahead of the deadline cycle. And what a Lions-sane trade structure would look like without mortgaging the draft plan. I'll stack tape, trades, and cap logic first, and only when the picture is airtight will I drop the name you showed up for. Stay with me, because it lands Red Zone Sundays in Detroit did a lot easier. Let's start with the field, not the rumor mill. Our offense hums when we win the first 10 yards beyond the line of scrimmage scenes, crossers, option routes that punish flat-footed linebackers. We already have a star who lives there. You know his number. But the pattern across the last month has been clear. When teams cap the middle with robber looks and roll a safety over our X, we need a second interior target who can sprint into free grass and finish through contact. The goal isn't another headline. It's multiplicity. Two tight ends who can both line up in the core and release like receivers forces base personnel on the field, drags a heavy body into space and lets us keep the same formation while calling 4 different games. That's how you hide your intentions. That's how you protect your QB on 3rd and 6. And that's how you own the final 4 minutes. Here's the profile our staff keeps circling. A true move, tight end with after-catch juice. Seam speed that doesn't die at 12 yards. And alignment versatility attached, sniffer, slot. Wide if you want to hunt a linebacker in space. You need a player who turns sprint out into explosives by winning leverage on the run. Who can start the rep at Y as window dressing and finish it as the first read 18 yards down the hash. You want a guy who makes defensive coordinators pick a poison, spin down the safety, and give up the outside. Or stay too high and let us run duo against light boxes. And because our DNA is physical football with timing, we're not chasing a wideout in disguise. We're chasing a tight end who blocks enough to keep the lie alive, then runs like a big slot once the lie becomes the play. Zoom out to the market. Around the trade window, the league quietly reprices skill sets every year. Press corners with length get scarce. Speed linebackers with coverage chops get fussy. And move tight ends with YAC pop become catnip for coordinators who live in play action. One name kept coming up in scouting chatter these past weeks. A Tennessee tight end with consecutive 50-catch seasons on his resume. A rookie deal cap number, and tape that screams stretch the seam, punish a flat foot. Executives didn't paint him as a lock to move cap no, and rookie. QB context matter in Nashville, but the league temperature hit that teams will call range. When that happens, smart front offices prep framework, cost, role, and runway. Before I give you the name, feel the on-field picture with me. Imagine 12 personnel, ball on the plus 35. We align in a tight split formation that screams run. The defense sets the front to stop duo. The strong safety creeps to the fit. And the nickel tightens the apex so he doesn't get pinned. On the snap, we sell the same strong side run we put on tape for a month, but our second tight end releases across the formation on a delay, climbs the seam behind the vacated hook, and presents a clean window 16 yards past the sticks. First down without a hit on our quarterback. Next series, same shell. This time he aligns off the ball, arcs like he's sealing a forced defender, then pivots into a shallow crosser under cover 2. Catch on the move, stiff arm, finish through contact. That's the kind of multiplicity that breaks a coordinator's call sheet. Now I'll say it clean. The name on the dry erase board is Chigakonkwo, the Tennessee Titans. And he fits the exact tool set I just mapped stretch the seam, alignment flexibility, and proven volume with more than 50 receptions in both 2023 and 2024 before settling into a steady role this year. He's a move Tay by trade, not a pure inline mauler. And that's the point. We don't need a 6th lineman. We need a second problem for safeties. League reporting ahead of the deadline framed him as a 30%-ish trade candidate, not a fire sale, which tells you 2 things. 1, there's a price where the Titans listen. 2, you don't win the negotiation by bidding against ghosts. The appeal for Detroit is obvious. Rookie deal economics today, extension clarity tomorrow, and a role that hits immediately inside our formation family. Let's drop it on grass with real plays. Early downs. 12 personnel I insert looks with Okonkwo aligned off the ball. If the linebackers fold hard into the fit, we pull and hit the glance route behind it. If they sit in space, we hand off and let our line reset the line of scrimmage. Middle 8. Sprint the bunch left, bluff the crack, then run him on the wheel while our Z floods the deep third shot without risking a 7-step drop. Red zone. Shift to a nasty split. Leak him laid off play action into the back of the end zone. After he sells split zone linebackers bite, safety has 2 bodies to sort, touchdown. 3rd and 4. Mesh from a snug alignment with our star Tay on the other crosser. If the defense plays man, rub into daylight. If they pass it off, sit in the void and turn up. These aren't gimmicks. They're married to our base runs and keep the entire menu live without substitution. Role clarity matters, so let me spell it out. He's not coming here to replace anyone. He's coming to multiply what we already do. Sam Laporta remains the axis of our tight end room and one of the league's most complete young players. Pairing him with a true move Tay creates matchup hell. You can line them up on the same side and stress a curl flat defender. You can put them on opposite sides to force symmetry the defense doesn't want. And you can motion into answers jet to manipulate the safety, return motion to identify man, then run the seam into daylight. Our wideouts benefit too. Split safety looks persist because coordinators respect the seam, which gives our outside receivers cleaner one-on-ones. The run game gets lighter boxes as a side effect, and our QB loves in second and manageable. That's winning offensive football. Let's talk cost like adults. Pre-deadline, the league's read put his value in the teams will ask for a 3. Settle around a 4 plus a condition range depending on who else is shopping. Post-deadline and into the offseason, it's about leverage and timing. A fair Lions offer respects Tennessee's rookie QB reality while protecting our board. A 2026 fourth that escalates to a 2026 third with reachable playtime while AC threshold, plus a conditional day 3 kicker if we win a playoff game with him hitting snap count triggers. If they ask for a straight 2026 third, you work protection language. If they push for player plus pick, you talk back-end roster swaps that don't touch our core. The goal isn't to win March. It's to walk into September with a cleaner third down plan and a better red zone shot diet. Cap mechanics are clean. You're acquiring a rookie deal year at a manageable number and facing the decision we want. Extend proactively or play it out and tag dance later. The smart move is clarity front load with modest signing bonus. Use roster bonuses for flexibility. And tie year 3 guarantees to play time, so you're not pretending a role that doesn't exist. Our timeline supports it. The roster is built to win now without starving the future. And adding cost control production, where the league pays premiums, is exactly how you keep a window open. I want to ground this with the data points that matter. Okonkwo's early career produced the kind of consistency you respect. Back-to-back 50-catch seasons. Then a steady roll this year with reliable volume on a Titans offense that's still finding rhythm under a young QB. His usage profile skews seam and shallow cross perfect complements for our current menu and the POA. After catch piece plays on turf at Ford Field. He's not a contested catch merchant. He's a leverage beater. You build answers around that. Now, the human part. What wins in January isn't only scheme. It's players who execute the boring details every snap. From everything I've heard and watched, Chig is a pro. He aligns correctly, he attacks landmarks with discipline, and he keeps the ball off the ground. Is he an inline people mover who caves a 6-tech every snap? No. Does he wall off just enough to keep play action honest, then run like a big slot? Yes. That's what we need on Snap 54 when a defense is guessing and our QB wants a throw that saves hits and moves chains. Let me feel the room before I land this, because your voice drives this channel. If Detroit can add a seam-stressed tight end at a day 2-ish price that escalates only if he thrives in our offense, are you in? Do you want us to front door an extension in the deal for cost certainty, or let a half-season play out and then set the number? How would you use him on the first script more 12 with Jet, or 11 with him flex and Laporta inline to flip tendencies? And which matchup? Does this fix for you first? Green Bay's too high patience, or a division rival that lives in robber and dares you to beat the hook? My concise landing is this. The Lions need a second interior target who stretches the seam and punishes indecision. And Chig Okonkwo is exactly that player young, affordable, and aligned with the way we already win. Pair him with our star Tay, and you don't just add catches. You change the answers defenses can credibly play. The prize has to make sense, the structure has to be disciplined, and the role has to be crystal clear. Check those boxes, and you raise our offensive floor on bad days and blow the roof off on good ones. Drop your blueprint below trade framework, snap plan, red zone usage, and tell me where you stand. If you want these updates first and explain like you're sitting next to me in the film room, subscribe, turn on alerts, and share this with the one friend in your group chat who lives in the cap spreadsheet. Lions News Fan Report will keep you ahead of the curve fast when the news breaks, deep when the context matters.